feel a disturbance in the Wonkaverse.
Why am I so cold all of a sudden?
I'm going to look deep into my Wonka eye, my third Wonka eye. I have two, but the third is the good one. And I'm going to look for signs of what could be off in the Wonkaverse. I'm seeing snow. I'm seeing snowflakes. I'm seeing freezing weather. I'm seeing scraping off car windshields. Before, all I saw were dandelions, spring flowers, and other spring-related items. But now, it's nothing but cold and wintry, and little Willy Wonka's nothing more than an icicle.
You're a weatherman.
I'm a weatherman, and that's how I tell things about Wonka. But I wonder what this could ever mean. Before, Wonka was in the world of spring, but now it's in the world of winter. Perhaps we have longer till the Wonka Rapture?
It can't be! How could it be? I was just a young girl when this all started, and now here I am at the Denny's, getting my discounted flapjacks and stealing the butter packets to take home to feed my birds.
Yes, and it is me, the Denny's sponsored Wonka soothsayer. What is this bit? So long story short, guys, it turns out that the Wonka movie got delayed. And never has a piece of Wonka news affected me so personally. I found out about this in the middle of work. And my coworker was like, Felicia, what's wrong? And I was like, well, the Wonka movie got delayed. And they were like, huh? And I was like, you don't get it. You don't get how much of an impact this has on me and my life. Mm-hmm. I am now stuck in my servitude to the Wonka overlords for another 8 months.
8 months. That's like basically a baby. So you broke it to me gently also. Usually Felicia tries to hold back on certain news items.
I normally, typically if there's some like fun, surprising news, like some cast photos or things like that, I kind of try to like hide it from Elaine and like keep it a little secret, which, you know, sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But I thought about doing that, but then I thought that would just be cruel because like this genuinely affects Elaine's life. Like, like we cannot stop this podcast until the movie comes out. It would feel awful. Do you know what I mean? And like we want to analyze the movie once it is released, but the whole thing is we're counting down to the Wonka Rapture. So like we're stuck here until the movie's out at the very least, you know?
Yeah.
And suddenly you have 8 more months added to your timer. It's like, I don't know. It's genuinely a lot for both of us. The movie's release date is now December 15th. We went from March 17th to December 15th of 2023, which is quite a jump. I mean, and now instead of being 19 when Wonka releases, I will be in my 20s when Wonka releases, which is fucked up, in my opinion.
Felicia will be entering her 20s, and I'll be almost done with my 20s by the time this is all fucking over with. And I feel like you're like beginning your adult life. Things are before you. And I'm just like settling into the bottom of the sand of the ocean, just looking up at all the dolphins having great fun. And I'm just like,
but dude, I'm going to have to explain to my future therapist about how my formative adult years were spent analyzing the Wonkaverse in intense detail.
You tell your therapist the truth. Oh my God, you're so silly.
So I guess like we're just going to take a little bit to decompress, get our thoughts out about this delay. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest, I was not surprised.
Same.
All of the snow, it really felt like a Christmas release to me.
So obviously we knew that there were delays in production. It had already been moved back a couple of days, right? Like we'd already had a change in date. That was fine. It was like a couple of weeks and, you know, and we blew up and now we've got all these months. So we're pretty sure COVID is the reason why this has all happened. There's definitely no other reason that could possibly make any sense at all. I mean, I wish I knew. I wish,
Elaine, I actually found this article. I mean, it was kind of hard to find. I actually got it sent to me like via like an actual letter in my mailbox.
Was it from Marilyn Manson?
No, I mean, thank God. I put a restraining order on him months ago.
Why didn't I think of that? I've been lettering him from jail forever. I don't know who's in jail, me or him. Anyway.
But this letter was
article,
delivered to me via my mailbox, and it's got this kind of letter in it. I don't know if like the author thought I was like a newspaper who could publish this, because like I can't do anything with it. But it was written by this guy called Private Detective Investigator Milano Tollhouse.
Fuck you.
And it's crazy because like have you heard of this guy? Apparently he's like a big deal. And he wrote this like really cool like piece of investigative journalism that like actually has to do with the Wonka delay. And I think we can learn a lot from it.
So this is breaking news right now, basically.
This is breaking news.
We have
I'm breaking the
that
news.
Nobody else has.
Yeah. So he entitled this letter to me, "Why Wonka Got the Boot," which was interesting and fascinating. So I'm gonna do a little private detective investigator Milano Tollhouse impression, like the way I think he would talk. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna give you this intro. He starts by saying, "I was sitting alone in my office when suddenly I heard a ring on my cellular telephone. I rooted through the items on the desk in the dim light and combing through the blinds until I found it underneath some checks from 2018 I had yet to cash. Yellow, I grumbled. Hello, is this Detective Milano Tollhouse I'm speaking to? Yes, this is Private Detective Investigator Milano Tollhouse. Mr. Detective, I do believe I have a case that may be of interest to you. It would pay handsomely. Pay handsomely. I looked wistfully towards the mini-fridge from which I had just taken the last LaCroix. I'll do it. What do you need to know? You see, the film I just completed production on seems to have had a bit of a setback. Suddenly, the film's release has jumped back 8 months, and I do suspect foul play. I'd like you to look into it. So, like, this is crazy, Elaine. Like,
that's so weird that report was written that way.
Yeah, it's really wild. It's like he was writing like a little novel about it.
I guess like these days, if you're working in true crime, you just got to be ready to monopolize on that. Like I respect it, you know.
Maybe he makes little podcasts. So the Milano Tollhouse, he says, "All right, do you have any suspicions?" Nope.
Do you have any suspicions? My son, tell me, what do you think about this? You'd betray me this way?
All right. Do you have any suspicions? Oh, I have to burp. That's what he said.
It's a weird footnote.
Yeah. Footnote, I just burped. Moving on. Yes, that boy on set, the star, the one that looks a bit like a binder clip. He always followed me around and sat next to me at dinner when I was listening to my audiobooks and clearly did not want to be bothered. Perhaps he resents the lack of connection. What film are we discussing, may I ask? Ah, yes, I'm sure that would help. It's the Wonka prequel, scheduled for release now in December of 2023. I dropped the phone in shock. Wonka? You mean they're making a prequel to Wonka? Yes, I simply cannot have this conversation again. I will email my payment details to you tomorrow. Hold on, one more thing before you go. Could I have your name? Grant. Hugh Grant.
Hugo Loomba.
I know. So I guess Hugh Grant hired this guy to go and investigate the Wonka delay. This is huge, Elaine.
Why wouldn't they have told Hugh? This is interesting. What kind of drama on set do we not know about?
There's a lot. It's kind of crazy. I think maybe there's a whole side to the Wonkaverse we're not even privy to, despite us being Wonka scholars and me being the Wonka soothsayer who lives in the Denny's.
Like the upside down of the Wonkaverse.
If anyone from the movie was transferred to the upside down, like Will was in season 1, who do you think it is?
Which Wonka movie are we even talking about these days?
The new one.
The new one. Oh,
Matt Lucas.
I actually was about to say Matt Lucas. I was thinking like Matt Lucas or Michael Key, and it was Matt Lucas.
Which member of the Wonka 2023 cast is transported to the upside down a la Will in season 1, and why is it Matt Lucas?
But I do imagine person most likely to be late to filming because they went to the local fair and got stuck on the Ferris wheel would be Keegan-Michael Key.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. I love the superlatives. Ooh, for reasons why it's delayed. Get off the Ferris wheel, Michael. Keegan. Keegan.
Most likely to show up late to set because they underestimated how long the line was at the local patisserie when they were going for their morning croissant. That's Hugh Grant. So there's it looks like there's about 3 days of investigation that this dude went on. So let's go into day one. This one he titled Binder Clip Boy. So he wrote, on my first day of investigation, I found myself at the doorstep of a New York apartment, waiting for Timothée Chalamet to answer my 8th ring of the doorbell. Finally, he opened the door and it looked a little bit crazed, but Hugh Grant was right. He did look a little bit like a binder clip. Timothy, I'm Private Detective Investigator Milano Tollhouse, and I have something I need to speak to you about. Timothy looked around unsure. Thankfully, though, the boy did seem to be afraid of authority figures, and he decided to let me up. We ended up sat around his island in the kitchen, where Timothée Chalamet had a large bag of pizza. Oh my god! We ended up sat around the island in his kitchen, where Timothée Chalamet had a large batch of pizza rolls cooling. He offered me some, but I declined because my body is a temple.
I'm sorry, is Dr. Milano Tollhouse a frickin' hottie?
I mean,
Adam Driver Centaur
maybe.
Minus the Centaur, but not Adam Driver.
Wait, hold on. How
just all horse, no body.
Wait, he would just be a torso of a man.
That's just a horse. The kind of man I like. No thoughts, no talking.
Leave in the comments below whether you think Detective Milano Tollhouse is a
torso,
a man, or a horse. A torso of a man, or just a horse. I don't know. Should we come up with a fan cast for Detective Milano Tollhouse?
Yes, 100%.
I'm kind of doing a Nicolas Cage vibe with the voice. Not well, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm envisioning him as I say things.
I love that. I kind of immediately went to a Jude Law kind of moment. Yeah, I'm good with that. Both of those. If he needed an assistant, I want Jude Law and Nick Cage to be a detective team. I didn't know I ever needed that. Let's do it.
But now we do.
Oh, gorgeous.
So, Timothy, I was wondering if you have any information about the delay of Wonka till December. What? Timothée Chalamet looked up from the tea he was dipping his pizza roll in shock. You didn't know? I asked in disbelief. Nah, dude. My phone died 2 days ago, and I kept forgetting to plug it in. Somebody probably emailed me, but I've got 1,000 unread messages. Uh-huh. My client suspects foul play surrounding the delay, so any information you can provide is useful. Now, how did you feel about working on the film? I mean, it was pretty fun. I got to wear a little hat and walk around with a little silly cane. I'm just doing my own voice for Timothée Chalamet. I can't be fucking bothered.
I feel like it's canon now that you and Timmy are the same person.
Is that?
Your voice and then the Timothée Chalamet voice. There's no difference. You are the same. And you're also vying for young Wonka anyway. New theory, it's delayed because they're casting you as the new Timmy and they're having to refilm certain scenes with you.
I didn't even know.
That's how good they are at casting.
I mean, it was pretty fun. I got to wear a hat and walk around with a silly little cane. So I'm excited for people to see that. I kind of feel like I'm getting to show a side of myself that hasn't really been seen before. So, I mean, I'm kind of bummed that it won't be coming out sooner, but the delay makes the snow make a lot more sense. I see. Now, could you tell me anything about your co-stars? Did you have a tenuous relationship with anyone on set? Well, I don't want to be rude or anything, but I didn't get along great with Hugh Grant. He was always just kind of, I don't know, standoffish. I'm not super bothered by it. I mean, he was in the makeup chair a lot, and that's tiring, but he would always get really frustrated with me. How so? Okay, so sometimes I would go up to him. Okay, so
I would go up to him and he would be like,
oh God, imagine if I did that as the Timothée Chalamet. Wait, I kind of want to re-record this with me just going, okay, so sometimes I would go up to him.
Oh my God.
A terrible French accent.
Wait. Okay. Timothée Chalamet took a little bite of one of those chocolate French boy cookies and suddenly he transformed Begin, Felicia.
Okay, so sometimes I would go up to him near the end of our lunch break just to touch base about what we were shooting next. I cannot do a French accent, like literally at all.
It was a fun ride while it lasted. It was beautiful while it lasted.
Okay, so sometimes I would go up to him near the end. I did it again. Okay, so sometimes I would go up to him near the end of our lunch break just to like touch base about what we were shooting next. And he would give me this like death glare and yell stuff like, "How dare you interrupt my novel? I was almost done with the 5th novel." I think he was reading through all the Bridgerton books. "But you don't seem to have taken this personally." Nah, not really, dude. I mean, set days are hard, so I get it. And besides, I was playing like Willy Wonka, so I was eating chocolate and shit all the time. I wasn't gonna let Hugh Grant bum me out. We concluded our conversation, and I finally decided to eat one of the pizza rolls, mostly because I was nervous about how many of them Timothy had eaten. I counted about 25 in our 10-minute conversation. I went towards the door, but spotted a strange letter lying on the table in Timothy's entryway, which had a drawing of Wonka on the front, with red eyes. Timothy, what is this? Okay, dude, I keep getting these crazy letters from this person who lives in a well in Ohio. And they freak me out at first because they're pretty dark, but now they're like kind of fun. I'm making a scrapbook with them. Do you mind if I take this one? Be my guest, Timothy said. I have 28 just like it. So the next one is titled The Wonka Well. So I guess
this is getting scary.
I guess private detective investigator Milano is heading to the Ohio.
The Wonka Well. Felicia.
I'm getting to the Ohio.
I'm heading to the Ohio. Hop on your Conestoga wagon. We're heading off to Ohio for the grain and the Great Lakes. No salt, no sharks, no worries.
And that comes straight from the Tourism Board of Ohio. Great Lakes.
I'm an ambassador for Ohio. I keep it on the DL, which kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So what are your thoughts on what private detective investigator Milano has discovered so far?
I feel like it's interesting that Hugh Grant is being like, he's the one who brought this up, and yet Timmy is the one saying, or Timothy Chalamet is the one who is like receiving these semi-threatening pictures. I don't know, it's weird, right? And like you seemed a little off, but it makes sense. Makeup takes forever. I don't know. I'm feeling like this is one of those things where people might not take it too seriously, but something weird is up. And it's also weird that we're going from New York to Ohio. Yeah. Like, I'm not sure what we're connecting here, but I don't
know what kind of also horizontal travel this guy has, because to go from New York to Ohio in one day, that's a feat.
I mean, he must be.
I mean, I guess you could have a plane.
Yeah, it's like a 2-hour flight. It's really.
I can only use cars.
It's like a 2-hour flight. Okay. How in the world did he ever get there?
Shut the fuck up.
He took that train that went through Nashville and accidentally ended up on the West Coast with the Harvey girls. He stayed there for a whole week, mesmerized by their glittering eyes and beautiful mannerisms.
So that's how I found myself by an old well in the middle of the Ohio wilderness. My journey had been treacherous, as the well had not been registered on Google Maps, so I was lost for a good half an hour. But finally, I'd reached it. The Wonka Well. As I peered over the well's edge, I could hear what sounded to be the scuttling of small animals. I spotted a ladder over the edge and began to climb down.
Oh, don't.
I could see a light near the bottom, but my journey down was dim. I jumped when I felt something crawl over my hand.
Oh.
I wondered what it could be and if it wished me harm, but when I reached the bottom, my questions were answered. I was in a room full of rats. Rats were clustered under the bottom of the ladder, eager to investigate the new visitor. The rest of the rats were seated near the back of the room. Nope, the rest of the rats...
Your Mel Stewart came out there.
I know!
Your Mel Stewart just, like, popped out.
I know, he came
back. You're in the Wonka Well.
Yeah, he's in the Wonka Well and there's rats. It sounds like a saw trap, that's why. It's insane. Rats were clustered around the bottom of the ladder, eager to investigate the new visitor. The rest of the rats were situated near the back of the room, chewing through cables that didn't seem to be attached to anything. I saw 3 hallways that branched out from this landing room, and I thought I saw a flicker of light down the one on the left. "Hello?" I called out. "I'm looking for the..." I glanced down at the letter I'd carried here from New York. "The Wonka Witch." Suddenly, I heard a loud cackle. Wait, can you do a little cackle? You're better at this than me. "Oh, well, you've come to the right place," a voice echoed throughout the hallway. "Show yourself," I yelled. "I would love to, but unfortunately, I'm still in my yoga pants. The cackling continued, but suddenly I felt a wooden door hidden neatly within the stone walls on my right. I pushed it open slightly to reveal a brightly lit studio apartment with a woman with long brown hair and yoga pants on a gray couch with her brown and white dog. Oh dang, well this kind of ruins the whole illusion, doesn't it? Wait, Elaine, are you in this? Why didn't you tell me about this?
Felicia, I am so sorry I wasn't able to tell you sooner about this. I forgot, first off. I have shit memory.
Yeah.
But second of all, yeah, the whole Wonka Witch part, it's like I never graduated from Wonka school. I'm not a scholar. I dropped out and I pursued my dreams, which didn't pan out. And now I'm just taking my degree. I don't know. I don't.
Well, let's keep reading to see what you did, because apparently you blacked out for like a month.
Why am I roasted?
Maybe he'll explain. I don't know.
God, wait, yeah. Maybe someone got rid of my memories.
She chucked an empty can of undisclosed alcohol across the room and stood up to meet me. Yes, I am the Wonka Witch, but my friends call me Elaine. I regained my composure and shook her hand. Private Detective Investigator Milano Tollhouse. I'm here to speak to you about Wonka. You know about Wonka? Her eyes widened. Yes, I did call you the Wonka Witch. Well, I'm glad somebody knows about this shit. It's crazy. I mean, Timothée Chalamet, who would have thought? Timothée Chalamet was exactly who I would like to speak to you about. You see, the film has been delayed. Wait, it got delayed? You're kidding. We're gonna have to extend the lease on this well. Yes, and my client suggests foul play. I followed his lead and spoke with Timothée Chalamet, and while he appears to be innocent, he gave me this. I pulled the letter out of my New York Times tote bag. Oh my god. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Why are you surprised you wrote this? No, but I never thought it would actually get to him. I was kind of sending them off as a joke to get them out of my house. I was kind of doing them like coloring books while I watched documentaries about cults. And I addressed them to him at Timothée Chalamet, fancy New York apartment, New York, New York. And that should not have worked. I see. So you did not intend to contact Mr. Chalamet? Oh god, no. My therapist told me to write those to get the Wonka Mania out of my system. Wonka Mania? Yeah, me and my friend Felicia became kind of obsessed with the movie. Not in a good or a bad way, but in an old-timey scientist way. We're very Frankenstein about the whole thing. I used to hate it, but now I'm kind of at peace. So you would not have attempted to sabotage the film? Oh, of course not. I mean, we're kind of depending on it being good at this point. My friend Felicia's been holed up in this weird little library she made for about a week now, writing about the impact of religion within the Wonkaverse. It wasn't a very fruitful research topic, guys. So it was a rough week for me.
I'm just really glad the letter sent, because I do that to people all the time. That means there's a lot of letters that I never planned.
Yeah, apparently fancy New York apartment gets you where you need to go.
Oh, Lord. Martha Stewart's getting one hell of a letter her way. I have no beef. I have no idea. Literally, I know nothing about her. Macy's. Snoop Dogg. Okay.
Yeah. Tax evasion.
Yeah. The classics.
And then apparently you said, also, I would not stay in this well any longer than I had to. It's super hard to get Taco Bell down here. So the rats chewing through the cables? That's just a hobby? Yeah. At one point I was going to try and send them as little spies for me to spy on the film's production, but it turns out they're not very good spies, and I'm not great at training rats. And they just kept trying to eat our mic cables, and we're both very attached to them, so we just kind of let them go wild with the ones out there. They all scurry over to me if I yell really loud, though, which is fun. I left the Wonka Well lost. All my leads had dried up. Shockingly, the Wonka Witch was not behind all of this, and I couldn't really fathom what my next steps would be. I reluctantly headed back to my office/apartment.
Felicia, it's so weird. It's like a little bit of that came back to me. I just remember seeing like a man wearing this brown leather coat with an arched nose, and he kind of was like squinting, and he just seemed like the kind of person who would like...
Did he have legs though? Because that's really important for me to know, to clarify whether or not he's a...
remember. I just remember seeing like stomach, some like the pecs, and then like it gets a little blurry. And then a floating booty. Like it was just weird. It's like a dump truck.
A little bit of butt.
A little bit of butt.
I know he had a dump truck, but that might have been a horse, so I'm not really sure.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say, you know.
But that's crazy. I mean, yeah. I also knew about this definitely because I also live in the Wonka Well in rural Ohio.
You live in the ceiling of a Kroger's marketplace? What? Just like up there? No. Oh my god, that was my dream like as a child, was to live in the ceiling of a grocery store. Is that your dream? Well, that I was an emotional. Like, oh my god, you get to crawl down at night and eat all the food. That was my dream.
Dude, grocery stores were my hell as a child. I was scared of them. Number 1, strangers. Number 2, loud. Number 3, smelly. Number 4, bathrooms at the back, and you have to walk really far to get to them. Number 5, men. My mother would take me, obviously, and when I was younger, like really young, 3 or something, I would run away from her down the aisle, and she'd be like, "Elaine, come back," and I would look at her, and I would, no joke, throw my head back, cackle, and then run away. And there was a worker in the Kroger who knew me, and I would find her, and we'd just hang out. And my mom knew that I would find her. I think her name was Alyssa or something. She knew I would find her, and then she'd be like, "Thanks, Alyssa." And then we were like, "Yeah, no problem." And I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more reprimanding, but I would run away. I looked like a wet chihuahua when I went into a grocery store as a kid.
I mean, they're not like... I mean, okay, like in Ohio, the fun thing to do was to go to the newest grocery store and just hang out. Like when we got the Earth Fare, bitch, oh shit, falafels for days.
Yeah, my problem is if I went into like a natural food store, they'd be like pumping those essential oils, and I'd walk in and be like, "I'm going to shit on the floor right now. I fucking hate this. I'm going to attack like a wild chimp." You know what I mean? It was just like,
so
not
this
fun.
Gets rid of the perfume shop idea we have been concocting forever. The smells of Wonka. What would his scent be? What would his...
If I go into a Yankee Candle, I want to tear up shit. I'm like 3 seconds away from breaking all those candles.
Oh Jesus, give me a spoon and let me eat the wax. You know, that's how I feel.
There are 2 types of people. Would you, when you enter a Yankee Candle shop, go fucking ape shit and smash all the glass, or eat them with the spoon? Enter in the comments below. Who are you? Tag yourself.
Fun life hack: steal the coffee beans they use to cleanse the smells. Free cup of coffee. Or if you don't have one, just chew it raw. Get right to the source.
Let's finish up this story.
I'm dying to know what happens, even though I was there.
So he yeah. Well, I think you blacked out. It's okay. Mm-hmm. So day 3, Wonka Mania. That's cool that he titled it that.
He used our word, Elaine. Really good writer, also.
Thank you.
He's a really good writer.
He possessed me and said thank you.
Thank you. It was weird. Your torso changed when you said it. It was so strange.
Like I just felt a horse's ass come behind me.
Oh no.
I woke up in a cold sweat and realized what I'd missed. How did Hugh Grant know about the delay? Timothée Chalamet, the star of the film, didn't even know. And while he said his phone had been asleep for a few days, Hugh Grant had called me a whole week prior. Surely, Timothy Chalamet would have been notified. I knew what I had to do. I made a few phone calls and hopped on the quickest flight to London. See, that's interesting. So, like, I know, like, let's say in the universe that it was not actually Detective Milano Tollhouse writing this, but it was me writing this, that I forgot flights existed on the trip from New York to Ohio, but remember they existed when going to London. Yeah. So I think that's just interesting, a little quirk of the mind.
To be fair, Ocean, yeah,
that's
a big one. That's a big one.
Thankfully, Hugh Great.
Great. He's not Hugh Grant. Don't take him for Hugh Granted. He's Hugh Great.
Elaine Best and Hugh Great. That's very cute.
Weird. My next dog is going to be Hugh Great, and people are going to be like, what the fuck? I'm like, no, because Elaine Best and Hugh Great, and they're like, I still don't get it. I'm like, okay, so I have this Wonka podcast, and then they leave. They throw their dog shit in my face.
That's reminded me, I've thought about naming my car Drive Barrymore because it's so stupid. Hey, hop on into Drive Barrymore. It makes me laugh so hard because it does not roll off the tongue. It's not a good pun.
I am making everyone sit in this right now. We're in the back seat. You don't have the air conditioning on. We're parked in the middle.
Dude, I always have the air conditioning on full blast.
Oh, same. I live in an eternal winter. Narnia, dreams come true. Why would you get rid of that?
Yes. Mr. Tumnus, more like Mr. Yes.
Okay, don't though, because it's weird because I love James McAvoy. He's like one of my top 3.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's weird the goat man thing though, odd combo. You know, you're like, oh yeah, but then you're like goat. But Adam Driver Centaur or James McAgoat.
Yeah.
Which one though?
I think Adam Driver Centaur does win just on like personal bias, but James McAgoat does do a lot for me.
See, James McAgoat for me is like he'll listen to your problems and he'll give you a good hug, and Adam Driver Centaur will slap you in the face, but you'll like it.
Yeah.
You know, 2 different energies.
If you're top, you like James McAgoat, and if you're bottom, you like Adam Driver Centaur. There we go. Moving on. End of question.
There are 2 types of people in this world.
Are you the type who would go for Adam Driver Centaur, aka a bottom, or would you date?
The day, Felicia, that we get to actually interview Timothy Chalamet with no context, we're gonna be like, hey, so like, just
there
curious,
are 2 types
Timothy,
of people.
Who would you choose? No context. Which is more your favorite? Like Adam Driver when he was in that perfume commercial and he turned into a centaur, so he's Adam Driver Centaur, or like James McAgoat when he was Mr. Tumnus, and then we get an answer, and then he says something, and we're like, yeah, we predicted that. Put that down, Felicia, in the database. We got that one right.
Timothy Chalamet comes on the podcast, and literally every question going, there are 2 types of people in this world, Timothy. Timothy, are you going on the train, or are you the train itself? There are 2 types of people in this world. You're either Elaine or you're Felicia. Which one of us do you like more?
Yeah, which one do you like more, bitch?
Tell us, because we're going to kill the other one. One of us is getting sacrificed today, and it's your choice, Timothy.
No, we can't both survive after this. Okay, Wonka Rapture, only one can be the chosen one.
We're going to morph into a single person, and you have to decide who's the host.
Or we could follow the trajectory, circling back to your topic about religion, where most people, there's a giant split, and then we have the Wonka Watch. We have our own fractions, and I become the Wonka Witch with my witches.
And I become the Wonka Wizard.
You can become the Wonka Wizard.
Yeah.
There you go. And then it's beautiful. Like, done. There's 2 kinds of people in
this world. Are you a Wonka Witch or are you a Wonka Wizard? Thankfully, Hugh Grant had included his address on the payment details, and I found myself outside quite a large and fancy house outside the city. I knocked on the door, but it found it swung open as soon as I touched it. Hugh Grant may have been expecting visitors, but he certainly wasn't expecting me, Private Detective Investigator Milano Tollhouse.
We already know who you are, Milano.
I think he likes saying his own name.
I don't blame him. It's fun. And I imagine his torso when he says it. Oh my God.
It's just Private Detective Investigator Milano Tollhouse. He goes from side to side on each word.
Stoggily, yeah, a little like power arm. Removed her arm so I could fully understand. No, just torso here, even though I can't see the torso on the camera. We're like,
he's doing his yoga.
He thinks he's cursed to think that people can only see his torso, so he acts like that, but really we can see all of him. And he's in the world's worst Disney movie where the witch was like, I didn't fully graduate from being a Disney villain, and I gave you just like a stupid curse that has really, there's no way to beat it. Like, there's no way to get out of this.
Supine twist, trust me.
When he says yes to nod, he just like moves his whole body.
But they can see him. So like,
he just looks like one of those birds that dive into the water. He's like, yes.
Oh. Okay. I crept through the entryway and saw him crouched over the fireplace of the great room, hair slick with sweat. Burn, you stupid things, burn! And that's when I saw it, the box conveniently labeled as Wonka film negatives. I stood firm in the doorway to the great room. Hugh, stop this. He turned around and gasped, Mr. Milano! That's Private Detective Investigator Milano Tollhouse to you, mister. Why would you do it, Hugh? So that's crazy. So Hugh Grant, I guess he thought if he hired the private investigator, it would, like, take suspicion away from him, you know?
Hugh Grant held a Hugh grudge, apparently.
Oh, a huge grudge. That was the joke, wasn't it?
Wait, can you say it again, but lift your arms so I only see the torso?
Wait, what do you mean? What do you want from that? How do you want me to? What does that mean? I have arms. I can't make them.
No, we're just trying to build off of what's happening right now. I was just trying to add your own flavor to it. You know what? I liked it better when you said it. I
huge grudge. It completely removes the pun at all. It removes the fun completely. I'm just being words at that point.
Felicia reads Shakespeare and she goes, "That's stupid. Didn't you mean?"
I would do that.
Just scribble it, and you're like, "This was bullshit." Like, what?
Literally,
fuck?
I would have done that as a kid.
Why didn't you just say this?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't think I really understand how puns work. So I guess Hugh Grant's about to have his little villain speech. He said,
I'm ready.
They made me a fool, Tollhouse. I had to play an Oompa Loompa. And everyone kept calling me Hugo Loompa. I'm a serious actor. And this is my fate. I looked like an orange turd. And I kept slipping and falling because the shoes, they were really slippery, you know. That's enough, Hugh. Put the tapes down. But how do you intend to stop me? Surely you wouldn't kill beloved British actor Hugh Grant, and you clearly are no match for my beefy muscles. He did have a point. I felt my brow begin to sweat. But then, bam! Suddenly, the back door to Hugh's estate swung open, and I heard a beautiful sound. The cackle of the Wonka witch. She got in my call. Hundreds of rats poured through the door and swarmed Hugh Grant instantly, causing him to drop the tapes, which I rescued from his dastardly plans. No! He yelled. Then Timothy Chalamet walked through the door, and his flight got delayed, so that's why he was late. And he said, "Who's binder clip boy now, bitch?" Oh shit, you guys already got him. So while Wonka is still delayed, our efforts made sure that the film will see the light of day, and in the end, we all got sushi together and now fight crime as a trio, like a shitty version of the Avengers. The end. How did you not tell me you were in a crime-fighting trio with Timothy Chalamet and Detective Milano Tollhouse? That's
so
crazy,
to be
Elaine.
honest, we had a Zoom call for like 2 hours trying to think of a good like costume design for everybody, but like Detective Milano did not want anyone to have sleeves. He only wanted tube tops, and I had to tell him I am not a tube top person. Timothy was like, I could do it, But he wanted sequins. And I was like, sequins are tacky. And he was like, not if you do it this way. And I was like, well, that's out of my budget. I'm not a multimillionaire. I live basically in the sewers. I'm living out my best Les Mis dreams down here, okay? So basically, we sent my rats off to do some woodland shit and to create the outfits. And that's taken a long process, and it's not going as great as you would assume. And gotcha. I'm really sorry I didn't tell you, but I just wasn't ready to, like, you know. I wanted to wait until it was set because I didn't want.
It is wild.
I don't want you to. You shouldn't hang out with me.
I apparently live across the hall from you in the Wonka Well.
Yeah,
that's crazy that I didn't know this.
But we never talk to each other. We only play on Animal Crossing with each other.
Yeah, even though I do wear noise canceling headphones like all the time, so like I wouldn't have noticed.
Which is because I cackle all the time, very loudly. So
yeah, I'm living in kind of like a sensory deprivation chamber kind of moment down there. It's actually really great.
Wait, but you are here though. Don't you see that?
Oh my god,
you're right there.
Crazy,
right?
Oh my god, that's crazy. Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Like, who is that behind me? I didn't even know there was someone behind me. Oh my god. Who the fuck are you? Get out of my house. Oh my god, there's someone in the well. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, was that Timothée Chalamet?
It's Timothée Chalamet. Oh my god, he's posing as my roommate. Oh, Timothy, come over here. We have a quick interview question for you. Okay. We have a quick question for you.
Chalamet, there are two types of people in this world.
There are two types of people in this world. Okay. People who love Adam Driver Centaur and people who love James McAgoat, a.k.a. Mr. Tumnus. Which kind of person are you? And don't read into it.
Is there a third option?
I think that answers it, folks.
He's a switch, ladies and gentlemen. He's a switch.
He's a switch. Thank you so much to the random person in the well with me.
You mean Timothée Chalamet?
Cameron just goes, why are we in a well?
It's too late now. You have no choice.
I just kicked her out and I've sent her down another fucking tunnel. God.
Yeah.
She's like a nice, good friend. It's so fucking annoying. I can't believe we almost lost the entire movie. And like outside of this, Felicia, I actually got stressed hearing that. I was like, can you imagine? I think about this all the time. Like, if you're in a big movie production, what if you're the one who hits delete on Dropbox and it's just fucking gone?
Yeah.
Do you like get murdered?
Like, did you ever hear about that at like Pixar when like all their servers shut down and the only reason Toy Story 2 exists is that one lady was working on it from home on maternity leave? Because it almost got completely deleted.
That's horrifying.
Isn't that scary? I saw that when I was 7, and I was like, I will never not back up my files.
It really was a defining moment of your childhood.
It really was. Because I was one of those kids who watched every single behind-the-scenes feature on every DVD I owned. So I guess we have to kind of sign this episode off, I guess. How do we make a prediction from that?
Well, so you got that amazing report.
Yeah, I just wanted to did not write it on a shift at work, 100%.
For fucking sure, not in Comic Sans.
Yeah, definitely not in Comic Sans, on my Google Drive, on my school Google Drive.
I wrote down, I have one line. I have a one-line theory. And as you know, I'm dead ass when I say this. The reason that Timmy, I'm all about people green screening characters back in after they film a whole movie and deciding fuck that. Clearly, as we've seen in the news, it's delayed because they're adding Harry Styles in to be Grandpa Joe. Obviously, clearly, we have been tagged, by the way, in so many of those memes.
Really?
It has to be true at this point. It's a thing. Yeah, there's a hilarious thing on Instagram someone sent us. Let me grab it.
I didn't even know about this.
Oh my god, it's so hilarious.
You see, I was so holed up in my research in my little Wonka library. I just haven't been on social media.
Let's see.
I do all my communication via email. Like an old little man.
Here it is. Okay. This was sent by Cowboy Hurry. There's no way. But it's Harry. And it's a picture, a photo shoot that was taken of Harry Styles.
There are two kinds of people in this world that are the host of Wonka Watch. One who kind of looks like Paul Dano, and one who kind of looks like A.D. Bryant. And that's...
Oh my God, I feel so honored. Oh my God.
You do kind of look like A.D. Bryant.
Yeah, well, with my hair right now too, especially.
It's the hair and the face shape.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I look like Pete Eyre from War and Peace.
Who's your Wonka Watch look like? Matt Lucas.
I was looking up. I do a thing now whenever there's a character I like and relate to. I'm like, Pierre from War and Peace autistic. I'm like, in Google. Any character who I'm like, he's just like me. I'm like autistic, and they're like, no, you're just projecting, girl. I'm like, okay, that's fine. All right, I'll see myself out.
I do the same thing.
Okay, yeah.
I'm like bipolar. It's funny because I was listening to this stand-up comedian who was talking about mental health, but she was really extroverted and blah blah blah. And I was like, it's bipolar, isn't it? And then she goes, so we thought it was anxiety and depression. Turns out it was bipolar. And I was like, bitch, same. Same journey.
Yeah.
Same walk.
Yeah.
This meme, though,
yes,
back to Cowboy Hurry Styles. So it's this photo shoot that was taken of Harry Styles out on like, it looks like an English country estate, but he's on this giant iron rot thing bed that looks like the grandparents' bed in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the meme has made it look like a news thing with a banner at the bottom. Breaking news: Harry Styles casts as Grandpa Joe and Willy Wonka. Reports say this photo was taken just before he gets his ass up. And it's like, I don't know why, it just makes me really funny. So a lot of people have been making jokes that it looks like that, and then someone tagged us in on TikTok of people being like, Harry Styles just is Willy Wonka. Here he is being Grandpa Joe. And then there was a different photo of him. They're like, and now he looks like Willy Wonka. And it was really hilarious. So I don't know. I'm going to gently put it out there. Harry Styles is tiptoeing toward the Wonkaverse. I don't think we've seen enough yet, but it's happening.
Yeah, not enough for a full prediction, but I could see it.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe he'll show up at the premiere? Wait, hold on. Fuck. Wait, hold on. Fuck.
Here we go.
Hold on.
Official prediction second. Break it down for me.
Official prediction.
Here we go.
You know how every like big movie musical will have a cover of one of the songs done by a popular artist?
Yes.
Do you think it might be Harry Styles? I think it's going to be Harry Styles because
I've got 12 silver sovereigns in my pocket.
And I like French people and women. That's all I know about Harry Styles' music. He sings about French people a lot. I don't know. Yeah, I think he would do the version of that because it makes sense. Also, Timothée Chalamet and Harry Styles interviewed each other like a year ago. I think just as they were like, this will go viral. Which
did the fans start shipping and foaming at the mouth? I can only imagine.
I don't know if they did, but I think it was literally like over the phone. I've read it. It was mid. I'm going to be honest, guys. It was like fine. But sorry, Timothy. But
Felicia came for Hugh Grant.
I think Harry Styles was interviewing him, and it's Harry Styles' fault. I don't feel bad about coming for Harry.
Okay, I think my prediction is that there's going to be an epic solo featuring the beautiful instrument of the oboe.
Soblo.
In the movie. I used to play the oboe. Fun facts.
If there's
I bust my oboe and I'll recreate it on the podcast. You bet for fucking sure I'll do that.
Okay, if there's a sick ass bass line, I'll do it.
I love it.
But no promises because I'm like, okay.
I haven't played the oboe in years, so that'll be a wild journey.
This is where we form our Wonka. There are two types of people in this world. Do you play
Wonka jazz
or
band?
do you play the oboe? But yeah, this is where the Wonka jazz band
featuring a bass and an oboe. The jazziest. The bass is fine. The oboe is interesting. It's a take.
You listen to it and you're like, it feels like there should be more instruments here, but nay, that's the whole band. Welcome to the Wonkaverse. Elaine, I guess we just need to wrap up this episode. How do we wrap it up? Thanks everybody for listening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, leave your theories about the delays in our inboxes that you can reach us at on Instagram and TikTok at Wonka Watch, or you can even email us at wonkarapture@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. If you want to support our Mania and
help us extend the lease for this well we live in.
If you can help sponsor the outfits for the Wonka Justice League, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/WonkaWatch. Thank you very much.
We would appreciate it greatly.
We love it. We love it. And just know the Wonka Rapture, my friends, has been delayed, but it's going to be okay. We're here with you. We're holding your hand. Yep. We're gently patting it. It's a little sweaty. I'm sorry. I sweat a lot.
And once you accept the delay, it really puts in perspective that it's not that important.
It's not that important.
But it is. Why is it happening? Get in here, little rats, and comfort me.
I'm coming. Ha ha ha. Here's our awful song about all the delays. Wonka, Wonka, you are gonna be okay. Just keep taking your medications.
Take your medications, you fucking bitch.
I do. That was important. Bye, everybody.